Hi, this is Tim from Latest 3DS Games, and I'm here with my comparison of the new Nintendo 3DS XL versus the older Nintendo 3DS. And you can see I've got blue versions of both of these consoles. Okay, just to clarify the current cost, the standard Nintendo 3DS is about £140 in the UK, and the equivalent in euros in Europe, and in the US it's $129, and the new 3DS in the US, that's $200, and it's about between 160 and £180 in the UK. Now, one other thing to point out is that the original Nintendo 3DS worldwide comes with a charging dock, and also comes with a power adapter. The actual 3DS XL only comes with a power adapter supplied in the US, and in Europe and the UK you have to buy it extra, plus the charging dock. Although there are some good deals around. Well, some console suppliers are actually giving away the adapter for free. So first of all, the finish. You can see you've got a kind of shiny metallic finish on the 3DS, and it's more of a non-glossy sort of finish on the 3DS XL. Now, actual size-wise difference, let's have a quick look. Other than that, all the features are the same, so the actual features of the console and the specs are the same, apart from, of course, the screens. So size-wise, there's the difference. And it doesn't look that much bigger, but obviously once you put it into your pocket, it does make a bit of a difference. Now, depth wise, there's not a lot in it there, and you can see again there's not much in it. You do get a larger card with the 3DS XL. You get 4GB as opposed to 2GB. The camera, those on both are the internal and external cameras are the same. Now, externally, the only real sort of difference here is that the 3DS original stylus has gone back to a side placement on the 3DS XL, as you can see there, and the hinges have been improved for the 3DS XL. So if you have a quick look at my 3DS, it's kind of, it hasn't got a lockable position there at all, although apparently some of the very early models did, until you get back there. So if you've got it propped up, especially when I do videoing, it's flopping around all over the place. Now for the 3DS XL, when I open that, you will see it clicks into a 2-position lock. Okay, so looking inside, and the button placement is similar on both. This is the original 3DS, and you can see the buttons are placed like so. The only difference that we've got select, home, start here. Now when I get the 3DS XL opened up, you'll see they're more of a raised platform there. So you can see the difference now for the 3DS XL. And as the 3DS is actually set into the console, they're actually more formed into buttons. The actual buttons here, Y, X, A and B, they're slightly maybe more pronounced on the 3DS XL, but the power button, you can see that's set further into the 3DS XL, as opposed to the original 3DS is more sort of standing out. The actual power button is a little bit sticky on my 3DS. The 3DS XL is at the moment a little bit better. Okay, so just looking at the thumb controller, and obviously we know there's no 2 thumb controllers or circle pads on the 3DS XL, and it's almost identical to the 3DS. As you can see, it looks identical. Again, it feels slightly different, and the main reason for that is the difference in finish. So it's got a gloss finish on the inside, as you can see, and it's all in the same colour on the 3DS, so it retains its original colour, but it's completely black, as you can see, and it's a matte finish on the 3DS XL all the way around. It's a matte finish, and other than that, all the positions are similar. It's got the speakers on opposite sides of the top screen, and the 3D sliders in a similar position. It's got a slightly, I would say, less solid feel to it. The 3DS XL, slightly more plasticky in feel, but it is very well built. Once you look into it, it is very nicely built indeed. And although I would say the 3DS original's got a very, very slightly better build quality. Okay, so obviously we're going to come to the main feature difference, as you can see in a second. But other than that, I think the only thing really to note is that the battery life on the Nintendo 3DS XL is a bit longer. I haven't fully tested this, but it's about an hour and a half longer depending on your settings. And in fact, there is one other thing to mention, and it's very difficult to show in a video, but it has got an anti-glare screen on the 3DS XL, certainly at the top, not sure about the bottom. It's also got a filter at the top, and it does make it better resistant in these sort of conditions. In the daytime, with a bit of sunlight in the room, in the summer when it's still sunny in the evenings, a lot of light, it does make it slightly better to play. So from that point of view, it's very good news. Also, when you put it into 3D mode, because of the bigger screen, it does make the 3D a lot easier on the eyes, I would say, after playing a couple of different games. So the 3D effect is much better. It's much easier to play the whole game in 3D. Certainly I've played a couple of levels of Mario in 3D on the 3DS XL, and it was certainly better to play than on the original 3DS. Now, the other thing to mention really is about the screen. Obviously the resolution is the same for the larger Nintendo 3DS XL, and a lot of people have been saying this makes it less sharp, and also a lot of pixels in it, pixelated in other words. Well, initially I thought it did look less sharp, but sort of after playing for a while I can't really notice a lot of difference, if any, between the 3DS XL and the 3DS. And it has, as I've obviously mentioned previously, got an anti-glare screen, but it's also got a filter on the top as well. And this kind of makes the graphics really, I can't really see a lot of difference between the 3DS and the 3DS XL. And if anything, it kind of maybe softens them a tad, but you would really struggle to notice it, and it doesn't make any difference. In fact, it might even take away some of the sort of harsh edges, if you like, of some of the graphics. Okay, so finally on to the big difference, and I've not covered everything, but I've covered a lot of things. Obviously it's that massive bottom screen, and that's about the same size as the DSi XL, and you can see the size difference there for the original 3DS. And obviously the top screen is something like 4.8 inches, which is even bigger than the DSi XL, and compare it to the original 3DS, and obviously it is an awful lot bigger, and it does make a difference. Certainly for me, makes the writing clearer, and especially when you're kind of following instructions and reading cutscenes and things like that, it does make it more helpful to me. It also feels quite nice in the hands. It's a kind of rounded edged finish, as opposed to it's a bit square on the 3DS. There's not a lot of cosmetic difference between the two. Obviously the finishes are different, as I mentioned, the matte versus the gloss, but there isn't an awful lot of other differences really. So just in summary, really can't go wrong with either system. Obviously the original 3DS is more portable, it's going to fit in your pocket a lot easier. The 3DS XL is that much, bigger. Still you can fit it into a large pocket, but obviously it may mean you're less likely to carry it around, potentially. but there's not a lot of difference between the two systems. They're both really good. They're both finished in different ways, and I would say the build quality is slightly better on the original 3DS, not a lot in it. I still believe the 3DS XL is still very well built, and the finish is matte. It looks really nice, but so does the original 3DS. The new anti-glare screen is certainly helpful. The additional battery life is really good. I'm not bothered about them missing additional circle pad. You may be, and obviously the much bigger screens really is helpful, and the bonus is because of the bigger screen, the 3D is that much better in the actual game, so you can actually leave the 3D on, I find, and it's less distracting than it was on a smaller screen. So that's it in summary. Really, as I said, you can't go wrong with either of them, and both equally worth buying, so it's just really down to you which one you prefer. And what I would do is, if you're looking at both getting one or the other, I would go into a store and try them out for yourself and see which one you prefer. So that's it for this comparison, and this has been Tim at Latest 3DS Games. Thanks for watching.